Media.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Kmu Live broadcast. I'm your host, Ricky Chaburgi, and joining me back again this week is Janine. How you doing this week, Janine?
I'm doing great. How are you, Ricky?
Doing better. You feeling better?
I feel so much better this week. I hated missing last week, but there was just no way.
Yeah, I hear you. It's glad to have you back on the show again.
Thanks.
How's everything?
I might have a little bit of help here tonight. I've got my puppy sitting on my lap, so
Okay.
we got a new puppy. So if she jumps up, then you know why.
Yeah, mine's curled up in the living room, so she's chilling out there. So we're doing good.
Hey, Christopher, thanks for joining.
Yeah, should be interesting. Currently waiting on results of an echocardiogram I had done on my heart on Friday, and doctor wanted to make sure everything's working like it's supposed to be, and I haven't got the results yet, so I'm waiting on that, and hopefully we'll get those pretty soon. Be sure you share the show out there, guys. Let everybody know we're on and live, and we're rocking and rolling. I'm only seeing 4 so far. Now 3. So let's get this show shared out and get some people in here. Wow.
That's good. So
where is everybody tonight? Is there something going on I don't know about?
There's probably a decent chance some people don't have internet. I bet you there's a those storms are pretty statewide, right? Yeah, the whole
western half of the state.
Yeah, the whole state's getting hammered with thunderstorms right now. Some people might be like Kent's having trouble getting backstage because he lost power about 5 minutes before the show.
Oh wow! I will say this: for all the nonsense we had last night, I never lost power, never lost internet, nothing. So
yeah. We'll just barrel ahead. I'll roll the video for the first segment, and everybody, the 3 people that are watching, share it out. And rain, sleet, or snow, will be here. We're right back after this.
Okay.
Part 1. Cold Cases, Stories Left Untold, Families Seeking Answers, and Justice Waiting in the Shadows. Together, we uncover the truth.
Real quick before we get started, I do an admission. I was watching that reel and I saw Rochelle Hammond's flyer, and I was wanting to mention that I was notified between last week's show and this week's show that Rochelle's actually been located safe in Los Angeles. She was actually arrested there and has made contact with her mom, and her mom's working on trying to get her back to Colorado. So I was glad to hear that Rochelle's been located safe in LA. So that's a good deal.
That's great.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you saying?
Oh, I think half the town here is out. The electricity is out. So,
Oh, wow.
with the storms, and I didn't think they were quite that bad, but evidently it's bad enough that it's messing up some of the lines.
Sounds like you guys are getting hit a lot harder than we did last night.
Yeah. Mike's sitting at the bowling alley right now waiting for the electricity to come back on so that they can bowl.
Oh, my.
So,
Wow.
yeah. Kind of
That's
crazy. It's
crazy.
that time of year.
Yeah. Well, let's go and get started here. This one is Elia Kirby, missing from Salina, Kansas since March 27th of 2025. 19 years old, 5'6", 125 pounds, dark brown, black hair, and brown eyes. She'd planned on traveling to Wichita with an unknown female, but it's unclear if she made it to her destination. And she's 19, 5'6", 125 pounds, dark brown or black hair, brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Aaliyah's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department. It's 785-826-7210 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And see what we can do to get Elia located and make sure she's okay and get her back to where she needs to be, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully they find her quickly. Thanks for sharing, Esther.
Yep, thanks for sharing, Esther. How you doing tonight, Esther? And how you doing, Chris?
Ken's got power back.
His internet's terrible.
Yeah, it's...
I think this is the reason you don't have a whole lot of people here. It's just the whole state just really getting rained on. I don't think there's any severe weather like Norm was saying, but just a lot of wind, lots of moisture.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, we need the moisture, preferably without the hail and some of the nasty weather part. But
oh, yeah.
I love thunderstorms, though. So, This is Melissa Jean Bingham, missing from Wichita, Kansas since March 30th, 2025, 25 years old. Heights between 4'9" and 5'1", weighs 120 pounds, with brown hair, dyed platinum blonde, and hazel eyes. Melissa frequents and went missing from the Broadway area of Wichita. She frequents the hotels in that area. She's 25 years old. Again, between 4'9" and 5'1", tall, and weighs 120 pounds. Brown hair that was last known to be dyed platinum blonde, and hazel eyes. She's known to wear wigs of different colors. Her ears are pierced, and she has a septum hoop piercing. Melissa has love tattooed across the knuckles of her left hand and lust tattooed across the knuckles on her right hand. She has other tattoos as well. Some are pictured below, if you can see some of those. If you have any information...
As I said, actually, I had a better one of the lust one. But the only problem was there was a blurb through the left hand part of the hand where you couldn't see the L and the U, so I couldn't really use it. I decided to use this one.
Gotcha. If you have any information regarding her whereabouts or disappearance, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-268-4181 or 316-268-4111 or 316-263-6011. Or you can contact the KBI at 785-296-4017. Let's find Melissa and bring her back home.
Hey, Diana, how you doing? Diana Hayden just jumped in.
Hey there. Have a good night. Glad you're here tonight.
And this one's Wanda Dyer. I know they're still out there hunting for her and not having much luck finding her, but she's missing from Lawrence, Kansas since March 21st, a little over a month now of this year. She's 74, 5'2", 117 pounds, black and gray hair, brown eyes. She was last seen in Eudora, Kansas, outside of Zeb's Coffee House on March 21st at 7:18 p.m., which was confirmed by a photo. She does suffer from dementia and does experience confusion and memory issues. It's believed that she may be heading, of course, we knew she was in Eudora, possibly the Kansas City area. She used to at one time live in the Kansas City area, is my understanding. And it's thought that she may be trying to get back to that area. And she's 74, 5'2", 117 pounds, black and gray hair, brown eyes. It's believed she's wearing a black jacket with a pink lining or a pink hoodie, multicolored pants, and carrying a backpack and a floral pattern bag. And you can see pictures of what she was last wearing there. If you have any information regarding Wanda's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Lawrence, Kansas Police Department dispatch at 785-843-0250 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And I meant to get the URL for it, but there is a Facebook group dedicated to finding Wanda Dyer, and they have the most recent and current updates if you want to keep track that way. I think it's, what is it, Find Wanda Dyer or something along those lines. Let me look it up here real fast. See if I can find it real quick here.
Yeah. Hopefully she's okay.
Bring Wanda Home is what it's called.
You said that's a Facebook group that they have for her?
Yeah, it's a Facebook group called Bring Wanda Home.
Bring Wanda.
That's what it's called.
This is Carolyn DeLapp, missing from Wichita, Kansas since December of 2022. At the time of her disappearance, she was 69 years old. She's 70 years old now. She's 5'3", weighs 200 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. At the time of Carolyn's disappearance, she was 69. She's now 70, 5'3", tall, and weighs 200 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Carolyn's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call Wichita, Kansas Police Department investigators at 316-268-4407 or email the investigator at AOWEN, that's AON, at wichita.gov, or call 316-263-6011 or the Kansas Bureau of Investigation at 785-296-4017.
Yeah,
hopefully she'll be found and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been.
Hopefully she's safe and okay where she's at, and we can help get her located to make sure she's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this one is Kyle A. Neugebauer. He's missing from Wichita, Kansas since December 17, 2024. He's 26 years old, 6 foot tall, 155 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. He was last seen around 10:30 that evening. Last seen near 143rd and Highway 254 in Wichita. Again, he's 26, 6 foot tall, 155 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Last seen wearing a black Carhartt jacket, jogging pants, and tennis shoes. If you have any information regarding Kyle's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-268-4181 or 316-268-4111 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And see if we can't get Kyle located and back to where he needs to be. And I believe Kent just put the link in there to the Bring Wanda Home group, I believe.
Great.
In the comments there.
Yeah, that way maybe we can get some more other people following that one as well.
Yeah.
So this is Jake J. Kenyon, missing from Salina, Kansas since January 23rd of 2022. At the age of his disappearance, he was 30. He's now 33. He's 5'6" tall, weighs 175 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. He was last seen in Salina, Kansas on January 23rd, 2022, and he's never been heard from again. He may be driving a white 2018 Honda Accord with the New Jersey license plate number X64PJD. There's a picture of a similar car to his above on the flyer. He was a resident of Maple Shade, New Jersey, and it is their police department that is investigating his disappearance. He was not reported missing until July 13th of 2022. At the time of his disappearance, he was 30 years old. He's now 33, 5'6" tall and weighs 175 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. Jake's ears are pierced and he may wear eyeglasses. He has a tattoo of a flaming skull on his left forearm and a tattoo of a scorpion on his right forearm. Jake was last known to be wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt, dark blue jeans, and Puma shoes. If you have any information regarding Jake's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Maple Shade, New Jersey Police Department at 856-779-7111 or 856-234-8300. Let's find out what's happened to him and get him back home.
Definitely. I actually stumbled onto this case on charlieproject.org. Going through their Kansas cases, seeing if there's any that I didn't have, and I ran across his, and I found it interesting that he's missing from here in Salina, but it's the Maple Shade, New Jersey Police Department that's doing the investigating.
Yeah, it's an interesting connection there.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes you wonder what he was doing so far from home.
Right. And Cynthia Sutton's is a cousin of Mark. His son Kyle is missing. I pray everyone's missing will be found safe after their family. Yeah, we always pray that everybody that's missing will be found safe too.
Definitely.
For sure.
So this is Kimberly Barnes, missing from Hutchinson, Kansas, since June 28th of 2024. At the time of her disappearance, she was 57 and is now 58. She is 5'8" tall, weighs 210 pounds with blonde and gray hair and brown eyes. Kimberly has bipolar and schizophrenic disorder and has been without her medications. She also does suffer from substance abuse issues. She is not stable to be out on her own. She also does not have any money with her. At the time of her disappearance, she was 57. She's now 58. 5'8" tall and weighs 210 pounds with blonde gray hair and brown eyes. And she also does wear eyeglasses occasionally. If you have any information regarding her disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Hutchinson, Kansas Police Department at 620-694-2800 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. Let's bring her back home.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully she's okay. I mean, where she's at, but we still need to get her found to make sure she's okay. And I know her daughter has been frantically trying to find her, so we can do to help that out.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to get some information on, where she is. That way she can make sure she's safe.
Right.
So it looks like she's got a lot going on.
Yeah. All right. And this one is John Jensen. And he is missing from Kerwin, Kansas since June 14, 2023. 52 when he went missing. He's now 54. 5'11", 190 pounds, brown hair, hazel eyes. He left without his vehicle, his cell phone, or his wallet. His daughter does tell us he has mental health issues and does occasionally have episodes. Again, when he went missing, he was 52. He's now 54. 5'11", 190 pounds, brown hair, hazel eyes. If you have any information regarding Jonathan's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call the Phillips County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 785-543-6885 or the KBI 785-296-4017. See if we can't get John located and back home to his family. Because, as I said, I know his daughter is really worried sick about him and really wants him home.
Yeah, I haven't seen her on tonight yet. So, okay, this is Casey Kaylin Shannon McMurray, missing from Salina, Kansas since January 1st of 2025. She is 35 years old. She's 5'2" tall, weighs 136 pounds with brown hair and hazel eyes. If you have any information regarding Casey's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. Let's see, get her home and get her home safe.
Definitely.
Yeah. Her pictures are just always very striking to me, the difference within just a few months.
Right. Definitely. Okay. This is one out of Great Bend, Kansas, that we've done quite frequently. Double homicide. Mandy Alexander and Mary Drake on September 4th, 2002 at approximately 7:55 p.m. The Great Bend, Kansas Police Department responded to a call at Dolly Madison Bakery at 1004 Harrison in Great Bend. Upon arrival, officers found 2 deceased females, victims of an apparent double homicide. Police have never said how the women died. The delivery truck driver who found the bodies said they were located in a back office. The witness described seeing a white male approximately 6'1" to 6'2", weighing 175 pounds, having collar length, light brown to blonde hair, and a slight beard, walking away from the front door of the bakery. Their murder weapon was never found, and no suspects have been arrested. Officials also aren't sure of a motive for the murders, although some money from the store was missing that night. On September 6, 2022, the KBI and Great Bend, Kansas Police Department, as a result of this new testing, male DNA was discovered on the sample collected from the body of one of the victims. KBI agents and detectives from the Great Bend Police Department have collected numerous DNA samples for comparison to the DNA discovered and will continue with these efforts. If you have any information on this crime, please call the Great Bend, Kansas Police Department at 620-793-4120 or the Barton County Sheriff's Office at 620-793-1876 or the KBI 1-800-572-7463. And there is a $17,000 reward available for information leading to an arrest, conviction in Mandy Alexander and Mary Drake's deaths. So, have any information at all, no matter how minute or small you think it might be, get that called in so they can check it out and see if it's something they need or not. I can't stress that enough. And I see Queenie made it in. How you doing, Queenie?
Yeah, it's interesting after 20 years later that they can look at all of the DNA and be able to get, more DNA extracted and be able to come up with new ideas and maybe some more leads on where people can find them. I remember when this case happened, and it just kind of left you, all of them leave you feeling unsettled, but this one with just no idea. I can remember at that point in time, it just left me with a really unsettled feeling on it.
Yeah. It's kind of a bad case. I really hope they take that DNA and they submit it for genealogical testing and do that reverse genealogy testing on it and see if they can track down somebody that way. That would be a cool thing to do.
Just real quick, everybody, check out the documentary. It's on Tubi for sure, but I think it's pretty much made its way around the streaming sites. Dolly Madison murders. Ricky had the guy who directed it and did everything. He had him on the show a couple years ago, and really great documentary. We're gonna go to our second segment. Please share the show with your friends. You're watching Kansas Missing and Unsolved.
Part 2. Endangered Runaways, Young Lives at Risk, Stories that Demand Attention, and a Race Against Time. Together we can make a difference.
I just noticed Roxanne said she's late. She said did not show us live on the KMU page. So she came to my page and I'm live. So I don't know what's going on with KMU, but I sent it there. So I don't know if it's a Facebook thing or what, but Thanks for finding us, Roxanne. Sorry about that. I'll have to figure out what's going on with that. And if you want to go ahead with this one, Janine, you can go ahead and do this one.
This is Garrett Gardner, missing from Wichita, Kansas since March 18th of 2025. He's 15 years old. He's 5'2" tall, weighs 150 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Garrett's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9254 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011, or you can contact the KBI at 785-296-4017. Let's get all the help we can to find Garrett and bring him home safe.
Definitely.
It's always interesting when you've got the runaways, and because you kind of wonder why they chose to take that path. And
yeah, it's really weird because I'm looking at Kansas Missing and Unsolved on my phone, and on the profile picture, it's got the red circle that says live, but it doesn't show us live. It's not showing. I don't know what's going on there. I have no idea. Probably some kind of a Facebook glitch.
Might be.
They're always having fun.
The profile picture that it showed it, but
yeah, it shows the red circle around it and says live. So I don't know. Facebook's always fixing something that's not broken. Okay, and this one is Seth Hayes. We've covered him in the past, and he was located. Now he's missing again. Missing since April 18th of this year. He's 15, 5'10", 130 pounds, brown hair, green eyes. His ears and nose are pierced. If you have any information regarding his disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9254 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see what we can do to get Seth located and back to where he needs to be.
yeah.
And we definitely are on my personal page going live, so I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, I saw that one. So I don't know what. I know when I went to the Facebook page, I clicked on the profile picture and then it let me share it from there. So I don't know.
Wow.
You just never know. This is Cale Murray from Sabetha, Kansas. He's been missing since April 1st of 2025, 16 years old. He is 5'11" tall and weighs 155 pounds with brown hair and blue eyes. It is believed that Cale is in Nebraska, but we don't know at this time which part. If you have any information regarding his disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Sabetha, Kansas Police Department at 785-284-2158 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And let's see about bringing Cale home. I know butcher saying Sabetha or Sabetha. I never know which one it is.
I've always pronounced it Sabetha, so I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting little press release from the Liberal Kansas Police Department. It says Liberal Police Department just released today. It's currently investigating a group of juveniles in our community who are referring to themselves as an organized gang and are allegedly involved in multiple felony offenses. These reported crimes include kidnapping, aggravated battery, property damage, and other violent acts. Videos of these incidents have depicted juveniles being ambushed and overpowered by a group using Orbeez guns, shot with Orbeez guns, restrained with duct tape, including tape over their mouths, and even electrocuted with jumper cables. These actions are not pranks or games. They are serious criminal offenses and will be treated as such by law enforcement. Under Kansas law KSA 21-6313, criminal street gang is defined as any group of 3 or more individuals who share a common name, sign, or symbol, whose members engage in criminal activity Based on current reports, the behavior of this group may meet the legal definition of a criminal street gang. We urge all parents and guardians to speak with their children about the legal and personal consequences of engaging in this kind of behavior. Participation in such acts can lead to severe criminal charges and long-term repercussions. If you or someone you know has been a victim or a witness to these activities, please contact the Liberal Police Department at 620-626-0141. Your report could be crucial in ensuring the safety of our community.
Wow.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And that's in Liberal.
Yeah. Makes you wonder sometimes if the kids are actually part of that or if they think it's going to be cool. And so they are, trying to do their own thing with it. I don't think a lot of times they understand the actual implication of doing that.
Yeah, I see Tamara Thumb. Is that what that is? I hope I said that right. Is it Tamara Tom or Thumb? She said, I love it that you're all airing these cases. Thank you. Doing our best to try to get these folks found and back to where they need to be. This one is Shelby McDaniel. We've been covering her quite a bit, but there's been some recent changes to her flyer that I made, and I want to kind of keep sharing her, kind of show these changes. She's missing from Kansas City, Kansas since March 26, 2024. 16 when she was missing. She's now 17. She's 5'5", 164 pounds. Blonde or white hair. And you can see that digitally altered photo on the far right there. Video surface showing her with brown hair and some chipped teeth on the upper right-hand side. And again, that far right-hand photo is altered or digitally altered to show her with the brown hair and the chips to those teeth. It's believed that she is currently in the New York area, possibly around Queens. She also has ties to Crestline, Kansas, Columbus, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. And she was 16 when she went missing. She's now 17. She's 5'5", weighs 164 pounds, has blonde or white hair that was last known to be dyed brown and blue eyes. She also, again, she has chipped teeth on the upper right side. The far right photo again reflects that hair color and those chips in her teeth. And again, those came from a video that had surfaced, and information and the photo was sent to me and asked to add that to the flyer, so I have done that. If you have any information regarding Shelby's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. See what we can do to get Shelby located and back to where she needs to be. I just been really thinking about this one a lot, wondering how in the world she got from Kansas City up to New York is what I've really been thinking about.
Yeah, that's a long way from home.
Yeah, it is.
I'm glad that you were able to add that the digitally altered picture, though, just to give a different.
Yeah. Like I said, it shows with the longer brown hair and the chips to those upper right teeth, and which would be her current appearance. So anybody sees her or knows where she might be, please call that in. And she's been missing for over a year. So see what we can do to get her found and back to where she needs to be.
Yeah, you never know just even what small detail might be what breaks a case and finds somebody safe. So this is Benita, aka Jaden Elaine Wallace, missing from Kansas City, Kansas since October 11th of 2022. At the time of her disappearance, she was 15 and she is now 17. She's 5'5" tall, weighs 130 pounds, with brown hair, last known to be dyed black and red, with brown eyes. It's believed that she may still be in the Kansas City, Wyandotte County, Kansas area. At the time of her disappearance, she was 15. She's now 17, 5'5" tall, and weighs 130 pounds. Again, at the time of her disappearance, her brown hair was dyed black and red. The red has faded, and the underside of her hair was shaved with brown eyes. She has a small tattoo of 2 small black triangles on her upper right arm and a birthmark on the back of her right leg. You can see down at the bottom of the flyer that her upper right arm has the double triangle tattoo. She was last seen wearing a pink and blue hoodie and blue jeans. If you have any information regarding her disappearance or you know of Bonnie's whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. She's been gone a long time. Let's get her found and bring her back home.
Yeah, definitely. And I meant to switch this flyer out to this one. Reason being is, as you can see, I changed the far right-hand picture. National Center for Missing and Exploited Children put out an age progression photo of her on their website, and it's an age progression to 17 years old. And I meant to switch that out and add that to the show tonight, but so I went ahead and just added it just now. But there again, they added this age progression to show what she might look like at 17. So, any information you guys might have, no matter how small or minute, please call that in.
Yeah, it's amazing what they can do with the age progressed photos. So you can kind of get a better idea, and somebody's appearance can change quite a bit over the course of a couple of years.
Right. The one I keep hoping they do age progression for is Vincent Moore, the little baby that's been missing out of Wichita for about 10 years. So I wish they would do an age progression for him.
Yeah, that's a long time, especially with a little one like that.
Yep.
All right, one more segment. You're watching Kansas Missing Unsolved. We'll be right back after this.
Part 3. Out-of-state cases. Beyond Kansas borders, stories of the lost and the unsolved remind us that every missing voice deserves to be heard.
I was reading some of Queenie's comments. It says you have to poke on other and then click on live. I wonder when that changed. And it says she had problems for nearly a week trying to find the way to get to you. Oh, geez. That's not good to know.
Now, maybe we can put something on there saying how to get onto the live one then.
I'll have to come up with something because Facebook keeps changing stuff on us. Okay, well, this is Dana Bruce. She's missing from Sedalia, Missouri since October 4th, 2008. 23 when she was missing. She's now 39, 5'2", 98 pounds, brown hair, green or hazel eyes. She was last seen at her children's babysitter's home in Sedalia, Missouri. She left the children there earlier that day so she could go out for the evening. She returned at midnight and gave the babysitter more money and asked her to watch the children for the rest of the night. Dana was seen at Malone's Bar on Main Street with a young man driving a late model red Ford F-150 truck earlier on the night of her disappearance. She left with that man at 11:30 p.m. Police have identified the man that Dana was with that night. He traveled to Atlanta, Georgia after her disappearance, and police questioned him about Bruce after he was arrested there on unrelated charges of marijuana possession and driving on a suspended license. Authorities have not named him publicly, but they are calling him a person of interest in her case. He told his questioners that he and Dana parted ways after they left the bar, and he never saw her after that. She left all of her belongings behind, including her hairbrush and toothbrush. She does not have credit cards, debit cards, checking account, cell phone, or a car. Again, at the time of her disappearance, she was 23. She would now be 39. She's 5'2", weighs 98 pounds, has brown hair that was colored brown at the roots and black at the ends with red highlights and green or hazel eyes. She was last known to be wearing a black T-shirt with the word Rebel and silver lettering on the front and blue jeans. She has a tattoo of a teddy bear with wings and the name Dylan on her upper left arm. She is blind in her left eye. She has a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. Her ears are pierced 1 time each. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-827-7823 or 660-826-8100 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or their or private investigator Leslie. You can call her at 910-427-0070 and see what we can do to get Dana located and back to where she needs to be.
Hopefully they can find her soon.
Hopefully.
Diana is asking if we're familiar with the Sebastian Rogers case out of Tennessee. Also, Summer Wells out of Tennessee also. Have you?
Yeah, I'm familiar with both, and I believe I have flyers for both on the page, I believe. And I've actually added some updated photos of Sebastian because the original ones, somebody got a hold of me and said, hey, those were pictures of him when he was younger, and here's some of him when he was more closer to when he disappeared. And so I added those photos and reposted that flyer. So, yeah, it's a crazy case.
Yeah. I haven't heard about either one of those. I'll have to go in and look at the flyers. This is Donna K. Lagerman from missing from Berryman, Missouri. She's been missing since May 25th of 2001. At the time of her disappearance, she was 41 and is now 65. She's 5 foot 1 inches tall, weighs 140 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. Donna's maiden name is Baker. She picked up her ex-boyfriend to give him a ride to an auto repair business and has never been heard from again. After her disappearance, authorities held the ex-boyfriend for 2 days for questioning and gave him 2 polygraphs, both of which he failed. Donna's ex-boyfriend had wanted to reconcile, but she did not. He reportedly harassed and stalked her prior to her disappearance, but she never filed any complaints against him. Since Donna's disappearance, there hasn't been any activity on her bank accounts or credit cards. Once again, at the time of her disappearance, she was 41 years old. She would now be 65. She is 5 foot 1 inches tall and weighs 140 pounds with brown hair and blue eyes. She wears eyeglasses and her ears are pierced. Donna has plates and screws surgically inserted in her back with the resulting scarring. She also has surgical scars on her wrists and surgical scars on her abdomen, including cesarean section scars. If you have any information regarding Donna's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Crawford County, Missouri Sheriff's Office at 573-775-2125 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or 866-362-6422. Let's get some answers for her family. Hopefully they can find her safe.
I hear a little growler over there.
Can you hear my dog growling?
Yeah. And Diana says both of these Tennessee cases are crazy. Yeah, they are pretty crazy. That's for sure. Okay, and this one is Alyssa Angelique McLemore, missing from Kent, Washington since April 9th, 2009. 21 when she went missing. She's now 37, 5 foot 1, 130 pounds, black or dyed blonde hair and brown eyes. She was last heard from the evening of April 9, 2009, when her grandmother told her that Alyssa's mother was very ill. Alyssa's mother died 3 days after her disappearance. Detectives discovered at about 9:15 p.m. on April 10th, 2009, someone called 911 from Alyssa's cell phone. A female voice was heard asking for help before the call ended. The phone did not have GPS, so the general location of where the call originated is unknown. The phone number listed on 911 records indicated Alyssa as the owner of the phone. The phone was out of service a few days after the 911 call and no longer took phone messages. Alyssa reportedly was last seen by a witness near 30th Avenue South and Kent Des Moines Road in Kent when she was approached by a pickup, but police don't know who drove the pickup. The witness described the pickup as green, a 1990s model, possibly with an Oregon license plate. Second witness told police that Alyssa had been seen in an unspecified date prior to her disappearance was a white man in his 50s or 60s, about 5'8", 175 to 185 pounds. Man reportedly drives a green pickup and had some type of connection with Alyssa. If you have any information regarding Alyssa's disappearance, please call Detective Wales with the Kent, Washington Police Department at 253-856-5800 and see what we can do to help get Alyssa located and back to where she needs to be. And I did recently add that age progression at the far right there to this flyer. It just was released recently. So I wanted to add that and get that on there to see if we can't help get her located. So again, if anybody knows anything, no matter how small or minute, please call that in. And Queenie is asking if that's your stomach.
No, that's my puppy. She's decided she wants to help, which means that means for her it's jumping up, jumping down, jumping up, jumping down.
Okay.
This is Timontez Hurt from Lee's Summit, Missouri. He's been missing since February 1st of 2024. At the time of his disappearance, he was 19 and he's now 20. He's 6 foot 1 inch tall and weighs 160 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. He was originally from Tennessee, had a mental breakdown on January 31st of 2024 in Kansas City around 3:45 a.m. He went to St. Luke's Hospital located in the Plaza area for treatment. After his episode, Timontez's family purchased him a Z trip to the Greyhound bus station so he could travel to St. Louis to be with his grandmother. He left his cell phone behind in the Z trip. He has not had any contact with anyone since. He does not know his way around Kansas City as he is from Tennessee. He was last seen walking on Troost at the beginning of the month. At the time of his disappearance, Timontez was 19 years old. He is now 20. Again, he is 6 foot 1 inch tall and weighs 160 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. Timontez was last known to be wearing a royal blue Price Chopper polo shirt, dark green sweatpants, and black high-top Nike shoes. If you have any information regarding his disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please contact the Missouri State Highway Patrol, Troop A, at 816-622-0800, or the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department at 816-234-5043 or 816-234-5111. Let's get him home and get some answers for where he's at.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All of the pictures on this flyer, are they all from the original flyer? Have any of them been added over time or any new ones?
Not that I've been able to get a hold of yet. Hopefully I can, though. I always like to make updates when I can and that kind of thing. So hopefully.
Yeah. Be nice to know.
Yeah. This one is Ethan Howell, missing out of Independence, Missouri since April 4th, 2025. 14 years old, 5'10", 120 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes. Last seen wearing a red Reebok hoodie, khaki pants, and black and white shoes. If you have any information regarding Ethan's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Independence Police Department in Missouri at 816-325-7300 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or 866-362-6422 and see what we can do to get Ethan located and back to where he needs to be.
Hopefully they can find him soon.
Queenie said, biggest thunder just about made me pee my pants. Last night we had some similar storms here, but tonight it's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, some of those cracks kind of startle you after a while.
Mm-hmm.
This is Betty Alexander, missing from Sullivan, Missouri. She's been missing since April 11th of 2019. At the time of her disappearance, she was 69 years old and is now 75. She's 4 foot 11 inches tall, weighs 145 pounds. She has dark brown and blonde hair and blue-gray eyes. She went missing from her Center Street apartment in Sullivan, Missouri on April 14th. Betty's daughter had stopped by to check in on her mom about 4:30 p.m. that day, but found her mom's door locked. Her daughter unlocked the door and could not locate her mother, but noticed that her Meals on Wheels had been delivered and was sitting on the table along with her milk. Her glasses, which she never leaves without, were lying on her recliner. Her purse was left inside a closet. Her wallet, medications, and state identification were still inside. Betty reportedly is in the beginning stages of dementia. At the time of her disappearance, Betty was 69 years old. She is now 75, 4 foot 11 inches tall, and weighs 145 pounds. Betty has dark brown hair with all over blonde. You can see that in the center 2 photos above, and blue-gray eyes. If you have any information regarding Betty's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Sullivan, Missouri Police Department at 573-468-8001 or the anonymous tip line at 573-860-5637 or the MSHP at 573-526-6178 or 866-362-6422. There is a $20,000 reward that's being offered for information leading to Betty's whereabouts and the conviction of person or persons responsible.
Yeah. So we can do to help get her found and brought back home.
I know her daughter's got to be worried sick.
Yeah, has to be. And poor Ken, he just keeps popping in and out of backstage. He must be having all kinds of internet issues down there. That's too bad.
I got your located safe reel. I will roll that now, and then you can kind of get us out of here. Thanks everybody for watching. Sure. Please stick around. This is the best part of the week.
Your drive then, my bro.
Yeah, good to see the located safes. Let me tell you what, definitely is good to see that. A lot of those located safes just came within, the last 2 days actually. So it's good that they did. And yeah, Ellen just popped in and sorry I'm late and hello from Leavenworth. Oh, hey Ellen, how you doing?
Hi.
And we did cover Dana's case tonight. So we did do that. Yep, so many kids, and it seems like every day I'm doing a few more and a few more and a few more. So, but that's okay as long as we can help get them found and back to where they need to be. I'll keep doing them. That's not a problem.
It shows you that these work.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It does. I just want to say thank you to everybody for joining us tonight and going over these cases with us like we do every week and trying to keep keep newer cases mixed in, and that's why we kind of instituted the reels with the older cases so we still have those on here and still cover new cases too, and so we're trying to do that. But again, just want to say thank you everybody for joining us, and hope to see you guys all back here next week. And just want to say, Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together tonight so we could do these cases and try to bring some folks home and get some unsolved murders solved. And as always, pray they reach the right ears with the right hearts and they'll do the right thing and call in what they know. So I'm a firm believer that there's people out there that know, they just need nudge to do it. And I pray that they will. Until next week, until we see each other next week, everybody stay safe, stay healthy. God bless, and amen.
Amen.
Back Home Media.